I have the pleasure of having one of my best buddies on today. And we already know she's going to bring the meat this week for sure. For sure. So, Kelley Jane, introduce yourself because I think there's maybe only one person here who doesn't know who you are and where you're from and market center and all that. And then let's get started. So, talk to us.
All right, thanks, Ben. So I'm Kelley Cann. I have been selling real estate since 2002. My whole career has been with Keller Williams. I'm here at the Dallas Preston Road office in far north Dallas. And as Ben said, he's one of my best buddies. We've known each other a long time. Love what I do, and I've been on quite a journey, especially the last maybe 10 years of really, becoming a business owner, not just a salesperson. So there you
Okay.
go.
So when you mentioned the business owner, so recite the you know what I'm talking about, all right? So recite it for us because that was almost like your anthem, your motto, your creed. So tell us, what was that?
Well, I mean, I'll give a little back story on it because, like I said, I've been with Keller Williams since 2002 when I got my license. In 2013, I did my very first bold class. I had been to First Step many times, and maybe like some of you, either because of cost, because of the commitment, because of fear, whatever reason, I did not ever sign up. So my very first bold was with Kate Patulski, and in at that time, they had us write an affirmation. And my affirmation in 2013 was, I am a successful business owner making a difference for my family. And I recited that over and over. And if you knew me then, which a couple of you maybe did, I did not believe that. I did not feel that. I did not really own that. And yet, what I learned in Bold was, that your words matter. And saying that over and over, I can now say I am a successful business owner, making a difference for my family and leaving a legacy for them. And I believe that now. But that person that stepped into that bold room in 2013, not the same person that I am now. So,
Not at all, not at all. And I'm so proud of who you've become. So before we jump in the bowl, because on our huddle this morning, Cinda Reeves was talking about negative self-talk. And again, I think that you were victim of it. I know I can be. And yet, you, I think, more than anybody I know, will twist words immediately when you hear the negativity come out. And so, Coach, talk to me. Talk to me about that. Come on now. Say negative self-talk. And again,
well,
you've overcome that.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it ever goes away. I think it's just that realization. I think I said to somebody else recently, I said, in scripture, it says, take every thought captive. And so for me, it's that like when we have those negative thoughts, which we have to just immediately turn it around and make it into a positive statement. And even, to the point where we've had this discussion here in our office. We have to be challenged with what we're saying about our market right now. I think a lot of us are walking around saying this is a really tough market. It's really hard right now, which could be true, but also, that's kind of negative self-talk. So how do we twist that into something positive? Hey, there's opportunities. Hey, this is a great time to build my skills. For me, I mean, people have asked me how the market is, and I've said, you know what, I'm really thankful to be an experienced agent right now because it takes skills to sell in this market. So I believe that. Now, for new agents, I see Seth, logging in with some of the agents in our office down in the class. You may not have the experience, but you're aligned with a great company, and you have opportunities that maybe other agents don't, even in a challenging market. So, but that negative self-talk of I think Cinda was talking this morning, and again, Bold really did kind of change my life, and it started changing the way I thought about things. And that was one of the things I learned too, was I would never have said to my children the things I would say to myself. And I wasn't being mean, but I just say things like, "Oh, you can't do that," or "You're not a math person," or you're not a business owner," or "You never graduated college," or whatever. And I would never say those things to my children. I'd say, "You can do anything you want to do. You can be anything you want. The sky's the limit." So I think changing that talk of how we talk to ourselves is super important.
Indeed. Well, and so again, that falls leads us right into bold. So Kelley, I'm bold. So how many times? And again, I think there was so many lessons that because I'm a bold 14 and I think you're bold 17 or 18. So and I think you've already touched on it. But again, let's delve a little deeper into how that training module has completely changed, I think, who you are and how you think about yourself and business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anybody who knows me knows I can like do I got my bold wall up there. There's all my trophies I got. I think this is number 17. I'm in bold currently right now. So number 17, I did two of the virtuals during the pandemic. So clearly, I've seen some value in it. People ask, why do you keep doing it? Even in the past when it was the same material, and it's that old kind of proverb that, a man never steps in the same river twice, right? The man is different and the river has changed. And so, our lives are in different places. So, when I think back, I was on a panel recently about bold. And so I started thinking back to those first bolds and kind of how I felt and what I thought. And what I thought about myself and being a business owner. I didn't really know what I didn't know. And every time I've done bold, a little different part has kind of been unlocked. So for me, it's always been about mindset more than anything, changing the way I think. I have some old programming, some habitual language that I've said to myself over and over that I need to change. So that's why things like an affirmation that, hey, I'm a successful business owner making a difference for my family, and saying that over and over until all of a suddenly, I went from my first bold. I was in a pretty toxic relationship, marriage. We were struggling financially. I was pretty successful in business, but not really running a business. I wasn't allowed to really run that. And we were behind a mortgage, et cetera, like in not a great place. And when I look at that 2013, Gary Keller says you can be anywhere you want in 5 years. And in 2018, I was single by choice, and I took my kids on a trip to London for 10 days. And it was really one of the best memories I have with my kids ever. And when I think in that short time of 5 years, and it all kind of started with thinking differently, thinking of myself as, what, I can do this. And I have, I should have that. Like I'm allowed to be successful. I think, we have to get out of our own way sometimes when you have old programming that has things about money and what that means and being successful. And, I just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That was my whole career goal in life. So, thinking like a business person wasn't really, to me, felt like I was abandoning my family by choosing business. And in reality, now I know all these years later, now my kids look up to me for financial advice. They respect me. They understand why I do what I do. They see me as a business person, and a great mom. So
Indeed. Well, again, you're deserving of it. And I think that when we finally realize that, we want the best for our kids and our family, like why in the world don't we expect and deserve it ourselves? We do, right? And I think that when you finally have that long conversation, and you guys have been on, know that I had to have that conversation with me because I thought I kept butting up against a ceiling, right? And I was, making good money, thinking I'm very successful. And yet no one in my family had ever seen that type of success. And I would constantly self-sabotage myself when I got to that certain level. And I thought, Ben, you deserve more. And it's not about being greedy, right? And there's no reason, no one benefits from me playing small at all. And I think that you've busted through that, and I'm so proud. So right now, because clearly you've already surpassed what you did last year. So percentage wise, where are you at with your business or your listings and or buyer sides and or GCI, any of that, if you know the numbers?
yeah, well, so this year's been interesting. So I'm having my best year ever
Yes.
in that challenging market. And lots of things have led up to that. A lot of baby steps, little changes. I would say I haven't done anything radically different yet. I'm doing all these things a little bit better every day. So yeah, my GCI is up like 71% from last year. Most years I've been about 50-50 buyers and listings, if not even a little bit more buyer heavy. This year I'm definitely more listing heavy. I think I've got 11 out of my 19 closings have been listings, and 4 new construction this year. So that's been a little bit different. First time home buyers that are buying new construction. So yeah, so I think right now my listings closed is up 138%. So again, I'm happy to say I'm listing them, but I'm also closing them, which is great. Which is bringing me more. So almost all my business comes from past clients, repeat referral business. And then again, this year with my coach's prompting, about halfway through last year, toward the third quarter last year, I started implementing, going back and calling for sale by owners, which is what I did in my early days. My very first few years were all for sale by owners and expireds. That's how I started my business. And I'd kind of gotten away from it. Not that I thought I was too good for it, but I was busy and it was good enough. And then when we start looking up and going, I want more listings. How do I get more listings in this market? For sale by owners has been really great. So I've closed 2 of those last year, 2 this year for sale by owners as well.
Well, again, that's something that I've never, besides my very first year in the business, ever attacked. And I'm envious sometimes that you have the patience because you know me. I do not for that. So keep doing what you're doing, right?
It's definitely the nurturing side. I think the longer you're in the business, you start seeing what your strengths are, and also being a little more particular on who you work with. That's the luxury. Again, newbies out there, I say you work with whoever you can, and you start building some relationship, and you get some transactions under your belt. And then when you get a little more experienced, you can pick and choose a little bit more, choose your lane. Where are your skills? And so for me, I'm not interested in calling for sale by owners in that race to those people. But the for sale by owners are a longer game. You're going to nurture them. Sometimes I'm talking to people for a year before, they thought they'd try it out. And I just don't go away. I just keep, yes, I know. I'm like the relentless.
You are.
So in fact, yeah, we did that exercise in Bold last week where they said, tell us what you think about us. And one of my past clients who I call often, he said relentless.
True. Mother nurture for
Yeah,
sure.
in a
Yeah,
nice way. I'm not about, I'm just going to keep hanging around though. They're going to keep hearing from me until they finally do something, whether it's an open house lead or for sale by owner, for years, I'll hang in there.
you will. So to the newer agents on here, I think Kelly's just a testament to not give up because we laugh all the time. She's got at least 5 or 10 clients that I would have kicked to the curb a year or two ago, and she stayed on them, and finally she's closed them. Oh my goodness. So
It's true. I had one person I showed on and off for almost 10 years, and she has become my number one referral
she has.
partner. She refers me people at least every other month. She's sending me
Yes.
somebody's name. Hey, I met this person. They're renting. They need to buy. And I literally did show her on and off for 10 years before she ever bought. She was renting forever. She was a single girl.
Don't give up. Don't
I
give
know.
up. I
I'm
should
just
I should
telling you.
listen to that. I should listen to that because okay.
It's okay. I'll meet them at some open house, Ben, and I'll take care of them.
You will mother nurture. Okay, so real quick, tell us POF. What is that? What is that? And again, to those that are on the call, I think it's who you are and why so many people like working with you.
So it kind of, I don't even know where exactly it came from, but at one point I said something to the effect of, I want on my tombstone, I want it to say she was a proponent of fun. Like that's what I want to be known for. She liked to have fun. And so I told my dad that once, and when he was in hospice, we were talking, and he goes, "Well, you are the POF," and I was like, "What?" And he goes, "The proponent of fun." So like my dad heard it, it stuck. I've mentioned it to some of my good friends. Thank you, Ben. So yeah, I am a proponent of fun. I think again that kind of I've always liked to have fun. There was a good chunk of my life where I wasn't having very much fun. Business wasn't fun. My personal life wasn't very fun. I wasn't doing what I wanted to be doing, quite honestly. I wanted to be home with my kids. I was very resentful to be working, even though this was a great industry. It's just where I was. And so I think bringing kind of fun back into my world. And so like for me, fun is getting together with clients. Like I have my pie event next month and it's fun. I don't just pass out pies. People show up, they have a glass of wine with me. I've connected clients who are now friends. I see them posting and on Facebook and promoting each other's businesses and things. It's pretty cool. So yeah, so I think, and for a while, I think we would write our business values and what are your values and beliefs and things. And for me, I always hesitate. Like fun didn't seem like that was very professional. Like you wouldn't put fun in your business plan or fun is who I am, because that somehow, again, limiting beliefs, right? Your mindset, my mindset, oh, that's not professional. You have to show up in a suit and be, a certain image. And I'm like, that's not who I am. And the people that really resonate with me and the clients that I enjoy working with are also fun. So, when I meet somebody in an open house and I follow up with them and I go, hey, I think we would have a lot of fun in a transaction. And then they end up working with me because they also felt like that. So, again, everybody's not going to be our friend and everybody doesn't want to have fun. And I'm not, I'll work with people that aren't fun, but I think when you put that out, that you attract people that are like you. And so again, really focusing on my database and my business and that repeat and referral is helped build that, where I'm not expired calls. That was not fun. I did not find fun and joy in calling expireds. I didn't, I can't name one expired listing that I sold that I still have a relationship with somebody.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, thanks for sharing that. And again, know that if there is a happy hour, she's there. I'm just saying.
That's fun.
Hey Monique, I think she'll come to San Antonio for a happy hour. So, and you know what? The timing is perfect because I see Rachel just logged on. We're going to talk briefly about, again, I think about your fun group. Who you work with matters, right? And I think who you have in your world. So, talk to me about your core peeps, and I think the importance around that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am blessed to have, I think this is a tough business, right? We say that all the time, and you have to have some fun. And I've been blessed to have a group of friends that now, gosh, we're maybe 30 years friends. We met in a Pekino group many years ago when I was a stay-at-home mom, and that was literally my one time out a month was the first Friday every month, and we looked forward to it. And out of that group of about 10 to 12 people, we have a core group. We call ourselves core peeps, right? And there's 5 of us, and we've really just done life together. When I look back over the last few years, a couple of us have been divorced. We've had loss. Now we're in this place where our kids are getting married. We're becoming grandparents. We're also losing parents. So, having that core group of friends and people in your life, so important, so important. And I think, we're in a social business. And I am also blessed to say that, so many of my best friends are people I work with. We have a dear friend, Brian. I went to his birthday party the other night. And I mean, it's just a bunch of realtors and we all like to have fun, right? So even in our industry, I found my people that like to have fun. But I think you have to have people even outside of the business that know you so well and know what you've been through. They've done life with you. And yeah, I'm just super blessed for that. We do girls trips. In fact, one of our friends, she has a beautiful home, and we do girls trips now at her house. So we just do for the weekend. We have the theater room, we have the pool, we have the ping pong, whatever, and we just stay there and do like a girls' weekend, like sleepovers, like teenagers.
Yeah, and y'all act like damn
Awesome.
teenagers
Awesome.
too. So, again, that's beautiful. So, yeah, our time again. This moves so quickly. So again, you were worried about it. I told you
I
still
know.
that, right? Okay, so 2 things. No, really one thing. So right now, I believe that part of the success you're having is the schedule that you're keeping. So tell us, what is that schedule like? I mean, from knowing that, because you and I, we were both guilty of staying up way, way, way too late, and now you've scaled that back. And again, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but talk to us about what your schedule looks like right now. And I think that's helping you win.
Yeah, and I'll say, also, a lot of credit goes to my coach. I have a great coach right now. I've been in coaching since 2017 in MAPS coaching. I've had some great coaches. And my current coach really has it really changed my focus on a lot of things. And with the schedule, looking at what's working in my business and, getting my calls in, and then it's become very apparent that what I used to say about myself was, I'm a night owl and I'm not a morning person, right? Again, we're changing that around, right? I intend to get good rest at night so that I can be healthy and strong, so I can get my work done. When I get my work done early in the day, it actually gets done. So, full transparency, when you show up at the office around 10 and then there's a business meeting at 11 and then there's something else and then there's happy hour at 4, right? Like, when am I getting my 2 hours of lead generation done? So for me, being more intentional, and it's really starting the night before is, and for me, this is early, but like, 11 o'clock, like winding down, going to bed, like lights out 11:30, because it was a not nor, for me, 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm still up sometimes scrolling, watching TV, whatever, having my me time. Again, that served me maybe at a time in my life when I had a lot going on and I didn't have very much quiet time. I think that's where that habit became, when if you're a mom and you're out there in the trenches with kids and you finally get everybody to bed, and that's when you kind of do laundry and catch up on a show and whatever. That was my life for a long time. And I've had to switch my mindset that doesn't serve me now. It doesn't serve me as I age. I am mature now. And I do know the benefits, and there's a lot of science for your brain and everything, of like getting good sleep and eating well and not eating so close to bed. So, dinner at 9 and going to bed at 12, like that schedule has to change. So I'm still working on that. It's a work in progress for sure. But then, my schedule during, my lead gen time, I've been very focused on the DTD2. So I don't know if everybody's Keller Williams, but, DTD2 is a system of calling your database. And one of the things that I tweaked this year is I've been calling them now for several years. I'm pretty well organized in my database and I'm making the calls quarterly. But, if you miss one call quarterly, then it's 6 months. And if you miss two, maybe you talk to somebody once in a year. Is switching it up and doing a 3-call approach. My coach had me, again, this is something where I was like, okay, I'm doing this, but I'm not getting the results that I need to get to the next level. So 3-call approach means I call once. If I don't get an answer, I leave a voicemail. Then I call again later in the week, usually Monday, Wednesday. And then Thursday, if I haven't heard from them, I'm sending them a text. And that's really increased, hearing back from people and being more intentional, because otherwise it could be a year and I'm not catching up with people like I should.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been my journey with that. I'm a Pilates junkie now. I've spent 25 years in the fitness industry teaching, and pretty much done all the group exercise and gone to the gym and been a gym rat and all of that. But Pilates has been a big thing for me. And so I think finding something that that's for use, whether it's, walking, hiking, I call that kind of my meditation time, because if I go to the gym, I could be on a treadmill or weights and be checking my texts or answering a call or doing other things. If you've never been in a Pilates reformer class, you're not answering the phone in the middle of the class while you're holding a plank and you're shaking and you can't even look at yourself side to side. It's all about focus. And so for me, when I go 50 minutes in that, it's like, it is almost like a meditation where I was like, for 50 minutes, it was all about me, my breathing, my body alignment. So I'm passionate about that, about keeping your body healthy and eating healthy. And so again, it's a journey, because I want to be here a long time. Whether I choose to work or not, I want to be able to still have a long career in this business. I don't intend to retire anytime soon, even though I'm hitting that retirement age and lots of my friends are retiring. I don't see myself, doing nothing. So what a great industry to be in, to be able to continue to work. And then, my goal is to have a destiny on my team by next year, have somebody that's here helping with a lot of the things that bog me down, quite honestly, that keep me from doing my 20%, what I should be doing in my business. I'm over here trying to make graphics for some flyer or something that's just ridiculous. Don't get me on Canva.
Again, don't hate, because you're on your way. I know you are.
No, I'm watching, so I'm following in your footsteps. So
Okay. All right. Well, it's crazy. I think you know me so well that you must have known I was going to talk about your Pilates. And I think just the routine and the schedule, I think it all blends together. So regardless of whether you're a seasoned agent or in the Ignite classes, I think the importance there is taking some time for you, and it doesn't have to be a long period, but I think that if we don't do that, then burnout will happen. And if you don't, surround yourself with your core peeps, whoever that group is. And I think we're so fortunate because as I look on my screen, I see my good buddy, Steve, who's next to me. Right behind that wall is his office. Scott, who often is here, right? You're only about three doors away. Terry Brown is showing up consistently, and I believe that brother is going to be winning very soon. We all know the superstar that Monique is down in San Antonio area, handling all of our referrals. So guys, I love you all. And so, Coach, who I call her affectionately Coach sometimes. So, Coach, again, I'm so proud of who you're becoming. And as we leave, is there something that I didn't ask or something that you'd like for us to know?
no, I think I just would encourage everybody to, kind of going back to the original thought of what's the language that you're using with yourself or around others, and just to be very aware of it. I mean, I know we kind of joke because I am very sensitive to it. When I hear people, yeah, I'll give that to when I hear people being negative or putting, complaining really or whatever. I mean, we can always, it's easy to jump in on that. Kate Patulski, my first bold coach, she would say, if you were in that, she'd say, "How do we make this a positive conversation? How can we create something positive out of this?" So I do kind of pride myself on that when I hear people talking about like, "Oh, this is hard." I'm like, well, it's challenging. So what can we do? And so I would just say, whatever your skills are or whatever is working for you, kind of hone in on that and don't worry so much about all of the things that aren't working. There's a lot of negative out there in the world. Social media, it can be a real beating right now. I don't care what side you're on. It's just, there's not a lot of positive. So I would just say, go out there and put some positive out there. We can affect our own immediate world, the people that we come in contact, our family, our friends, our clients. That's really what we have control over. And it starts with our thoughts and what we're saying to ourselves. So, Monique, I said, I'm a successful business owner making a difference for my family.
And
Yeah.
that you
And
are.
I find some kind of an affirmation. It has to be positive in the present tense, purposeful. I think there was another P, I can't remember now, but yeah, come up with a good affirmation, say it to yourself, whether you believe it or not. Again, I did not believe that. I was not feeling very successful. I did not feel like I was making a difference for my family in 2013 when I started saying that. And I can truly say now, all the time now it's become kind of a joke. I'm like, well, I am a successful business owner making a difference for my family. So it came true, right? And before Bold, I would have been like, oh, all that airy fairy stuff. Like you know, just read some good books. There's a lot of great science out there. The Power of the Unconscious Mind is a great book. There's a lot of things about changing what you're thinking internally, and it comes out on the exterior.
Wow, 2018, I can't believe it's been that long since you guys took that trip. So,
I
and
know.
you just mentioned a good book. Is there another book that maybe the Ignite family should be reading?
Well, if they haven't already, Atomic Habits, I think is just a great book. And then the one thing again, these are because it's all about focusing in on something narrow, small habits, small changes. For me, I'm not going to start getting up at 5:30 in the morning. That's not going to be my like. I can tell you that's not going to happen if I start doing that tomorrow. Now, when I start getting up regularly at 6:30 and I don't hit my snooze 5 times, then it's going to be easier to maybe do 6 o'clock. And for me personally, maybe I don't need to get up at 5, but 6 o'clock for me is a pretty early start time. So I'm inching my way there. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the Mel Robbins
Uh,
was that 5 second rule. It's another
yes,
good book for
yes,
for
indeed.
creating habits.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Wow. Well, you have been a delight my dear friend. I I'm so I'm so proud of who you're becoming. And I will just tell you that if you have an opportunity to spend any time around this young lady, and I say young even though she's a year older than me, you you will be you will
And he'll
be
never let me forget that ever.
hell no, hell no. So, and again, I think who you surround yourself with matters, right? Who you work with matters. Who you choose to give your time to matters. So, do it judiciously, do it effectively, do it, and take care of you. So, Kelly Jane, thanks again. Guys, I hope that you got something from that because again, she delivered on so many different levels. And again, I think we need to be careful of what we're putting here, especially when things are challenging, right? I believe that now is when we start to truly separate ourselves from the also rans. We talk all the time. This company was built during these difficult times, and that's when we separated from Remax in Century 21 and Coldwell Banker at that time. They're so far behind us now that we don't even see them. And I think now is an opportunity for you in that Ignite class, regardless of the market center that you're in. Now, I think is when we start to really separate ourselves. Skills matter. Skills matter. And I think that we're going to attract more and more business because people are going to see that we're making things happen regardless of the challenges out there. So let's go do it, and let's all win together. And that way we can celebrate together. Maybe it's in Atlanta in February because it'll be here just like that. And then we could spend some time with our friends and our cousins and our family and love on each other and lift each other up. Guys, I'm so proud of each and every one of you because I think the sky's the limit and let's go do the damn thing. So